Stay upstairs for another question. Go ahead.
Kenny Bruce with SceneDaily.com. Yeah, Tony, I was going to ask you about when you restarted 7th there, but not only are you concerned about the fact that you don't have the clean air like you did when you're up front, but is there also a concern that back in there that's typically where if something's going to happen, that's where it happens at?
I wasn't worried about something happening really as much as we just never really got back there. I mean, we had good track position. The beginning of the race we started 5th, and I think that's as far back as we started. For the majority of the race, except for that one restart where we restarted 7th there. So the big thing was just the difference in balance of the race car. I mean, my car really liked clean air, and even when we got down to a battle, head to head with somebody. We were good head-to-head with them, but with 5 or 6 guys in front of us, it really took the balance away. And I told Darian we were behind that much traffic, we were tight in the center and loose off, and that's basically a matter of just losing total grip in the car. And you would think if you're already tight in the center of the corner, you wouldn't ask to be tightened up. But I knew as we got going and got sorted out, the balance started coming back to what I had been accustomed to during the race. So just asked to be a little tighter on that last change, and like he had done all night. I mean, he kept making perfect changes and really had a car that was so balanced that the stuff I was asking him to tweak on, I mean, he was able to do that every stop, and it was kind of fun in the car to sit there and smile and sit there and know that every third of the corner I had something different, I think every time that I was asking for, and he was able to give me a change that was able to make the car respond, and that's when you have fun at a place like this, when you got a car that's that responsive.
Stay upstairs. One more question, then we'll come back down. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead there, Mr. Garrow. Downstairs.
Mark Garrow, PRN for both Darian and Tony. How big of a deal was it to get back in the win column before the chase? And with what you guys have done over the past 10 to 12 races, are you peaking at the right time? And are you guys confident now that you'll definitely be in the thick of it for the final 10?
Yeah, it's definitely huge for us to be able to get the win right before we go into the chase. The momentum is a big thing, but it's one of those things we wanted to have all along. It's not like we weren't trying to get to victory lane every week. It was a tough battle. We learned a lot of things in the last few months that have given Tony a lot more comfort in the race car and able to actually keep the speed in it as well. So the more we can keep doing that, the more lessons we learn, the more I think we can apply it as we go into the chase. It makes us feel that much better.
I wish I could say I don't know if we have peaked. I mean, how do you know when you've peaked? That's the thing. I mean, I guess if you're winning every week, I guess you feel like you're kind of peaking to a certain degree. But the thing I guess I've been really excited about, especially the last 2 months. I mean, and we've kind of been silent, every weekend, and we're gaining on it, and it's not been 1 week, in 1 week increments where we've had a big change and all of a sudden everybody goes, wow, they're starting to figure it out. It's been a lot of little steps in the last 10 to 12 races, I would say, that nobody's really noticed it, but we've noticed it internally, and it's a much better feeling right now this time of year than it was a year ago. I mean, we were on such a high lead in the points, and had won races already, but at this stage we were pointing downhill, and this year I feel like we're pointing uphill, and I don't know if I hope we're not as high as we're going to get on the thing. I mean, I think we got room to be better, and I think we got guys right now that, nights like tonight are what keep these guys excited about the long hours they're putting in and the hard work they're putting in. When you can help deliver some results like this, it makes those guys work that much harder to keep doing that every week.
Let's go right here, and then we'll move to Dustin. Go ahead.
Jonathan Ingram, RacingToday.com. This question is for Darian and Tony. Are more teams doing a better job with the COT chassis making mid-race adjustments? And has that made it tougher to win races?
I'm not sure it's anybody's doing a better job. It's just now we're starting to learn more and more and able to actually use the tools a little more effectively. It changes so much. I did different adjustments this week than we did the last mile-and-a-half track we went to, but that all keys off of Tony's feedback. That's the biggest thing I think that we've gotten the gain of lately, is we've gotten a feel that he likes, and it's something he can read. If he needs something different, he can give us that, and we've found a few things that we can actually tune that hit those certain spots. And it seems to be a little more consistent now that we've gotten a consistent baseline that we want to use. This is the first year we've actually been able to have to come back with a notebook, because last year we had our 2 races here. Spring we had tire issues and things here, but we had a good car, so now we were able to come in and say, these things are better. This is what worked the last 3 times. We're just building up our own database. A lot of the other teams have already had that for a while.
Dustin?
I don't know how to add to that.
Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers. Darian, you guys have had among the faster pit crew, part of this good part of the season, or at least here lately. Can you talk about how you kind of shaped that group a bit, and what it means to have those type of pressure stops like that last one, and perform like that as you near the chase and head into situations you'll face in the next 10 weeks?
The best part about those guys is they don't really take a lot of coaching. They're just a very good, strong, cohesive team. They work together very well. Joe Piet does a great job with them in the shop with all their pit training. They work very hard at it. They go through their film. They review it every day. They do their live pit stops every day, and do a very good, strong workout program, their diets and everything else they do. Sometimes I feel like we need to keep up with that on the race team side just so we can keep our performance up as well. Yeah, Tony might not want to do that, but they do a great job. If they have a down, like our next to last stop, we had just a little bit of a fumble there, but we lost a few spots. It wasn't a big deal. Those guys stepped back up the next stop and were able to pick it up, and we went from 5th to 2nd and got Tony out the front. So that's what they have to do. You have to be able to, because if you continue to get down, you're just going to go back in a hurry, because everybody else is so close on the competition level. You're talking about 0.3 of a second at the most on pit road for the spread between the best and the worst guys, and you've got to be at the top of that game to be able to keep up.
Let's go back upstairs for a question. Go ahead.
Jay Pennell with front stretch and all left turns. It seemed on a lot of the restarts there was guys going 3 wide right at the start-finish line. Do you think that was because you were having issues with your restarts, or is that just kind of the nature of the beast here at Atlanta?
I was the root of that problem. I was normally the guy that was normally in the middle of the 3 wide. It's because I couldn't get going, and guys were, fine. It's a wide enough track that guys can go where I wasn't and go around. But it wasn't a product of the track. It's just I was really struggling on it, and the good thing is I probably could have got run over a lot more times and had given a lot of opportunity to get run over. But these guys, were able to find ways around. It wasn't good for me that they found ways around, but it was good that they didn't run me over in the process. So, it's not fun to lose spots like that, especially when you work so hard to get them, and to lose them, at the start-finish line or before you even get to turn 1, it's kind of disheartening. But like we mentioned earlier, when you got a car that's that fast and is really good right off the bat on a restart, and you can get those spots back, it was easier to not get as discouraged when it was happening, and know that we had a good shot at getting those spots back within a lap or 2.
Other questions upstairs? We're clear upstairs. How about downstairs? Anything else for Tony or Darian? Okay, guys, congratulations. Put on a great show tonight. Good luck at Richmond.